So, my brother, how did you feel about the 2021 installment of Mortal Kombat?
Some time has passed, and I couldn't tell you why I didn't like the movie. So I decided to rewatch it again, and I thought I was going to have different thoughts on it. Won't lie to you. There were some things I remembered. There were some things I did not remember. I think my general thoughts have not changed. I still did not like that movie.
Yeah, that's some things I wish I didn't remember.
Well, listen, we got Mortal Kombat 2 just released recently. Will it change our thoughts? Will it change our minds? Does it change direction whatsoever? You guys will find out soon enough.
And with that said, welcome to this installment of the After the Opening Credits podcast. I'm one half of your host, Hugo the Boss. Hugo got next, joined by my illustrious co-host.
It's your boy, Ray Boogie Kahuna. And just like we previously mentioned, we will be breaking down and reviewing the latest installment of the Mortal Kombat series, Mortal Kombat 2. You know, for some people, they are eagerly awaiting this film. And for others, after the last one, probably not so much. But before we get into any of that, I'm going to toss it right out to my brother for not the fatality, but the formalities.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the visual portion of this podcast. Like always, you can catch the main cast on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and iHeartRadio, you already know.
So with that being said, give us your general thoughts, my brother.
Even though this film has things that I dislike about it that I could nitpick and rip into, I gotta say that if you are a Mortal Kombat fan, this film hits the nail right on the head. The characters stay truthful to the video game. The story, while simple, stays faithful to the video game. The makeup, the production, the levels that you see in the film are one-to-one with the video game. If you are a fan of Mortal Kombat, this is exactly what you've been waiting for.
I can say probably with a decent amount of confidence that this film is one of the most faithful adaptations of a video game to the big screen. Now, when I say that, I need you to keep in mind that is for better and for worse. Don't set your expectations extremely high when walking into this film. I did. I made that mistake. I do this thing where I watch a lot of trailers. I start building up a narrative in my head, what I want this film to be. And I walk in and, you know, I get disappointed. This film is not going to be anything like a Spielberg, Jaws masterpiece, piece of cinema. That is the wrong expectation to set for this film. This is a summer blockbuster. Summer blockbusters have one goal: butts in seats, entertain the audience. And unfortunately, that comes at the cost of, you know, what some people might say, lack of a plot or lack of real in-depth storytelling. You're not there for that. Where I needed to put my expectations initially when I walked into this film was more of the expectations that I set for myself when I went to go see Godzilla vs. Kong. You walk into the theater because you're trying to see big monkey fight big lizard. When you walk into this film, you are here for fatalities. You are here for the fights. You are here for the gore. You are here for Mortal Kombat. With those expectations set, this film delivers.
100%. And just because you so eloquently brought all of the positives about this film to light, I gotta touch on the negatives. Some of the character development was
I would say even non-existent.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And if you are a casual audience member that is not familiar with the Mortal Kombat lore, you can get very easily lost in this film.
100% lost in the sauce because they do not do a good job in explaining characters. This film was literally directed towards the fans. And there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. If you're not familiar with the first movie, at least you're gonna be completely lost. But hey man, you're there for fatalities, you're there for blood, you're there for gore, you're there for fights.
Essentially. And I also feel like this film was doing a lot of work to correct the errors of the last film while trying to get the legs under this film going in the right direction.
Yeah, I do agree. And listen, if you're not a fan of the first movie, you should be happy that this movie exists because this movie kind of serves as a soft reboot of sorts. They do go out of their way to right the wrongs of the previous film.
100%. And they do rewrite some of those wrongs in dramatic fashion. On top of that, I also feel like some of the acting was as well as some of the writing. Some of the writing in this film felt wonky. It felt a little too goofy. Some of the characters didn't even feel like they were a part of the film. They kind of just felt like they were there and plot movers. There's a lot of things to rip apart about this movie, but once again, you can overlook all of that in this film just because it does such a good job in capturing the video game and bringing it to the big screen.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, when you get these one-to-one adaptations, that also comes with, you know, some of the questionable and, you know, I guess straight up outright awful writing. You know, it's very much like the video game. And unfortunately, because it tries to translate like, you know, some of the comedic timing that a video game would have on screen, a lot of it was hit or miss. And, you know, a lot of the jokes fell flat. A lot of the lines didn't deliver and didn't have the impact it should have had on the big screen. I tend to blame the writing more than the actors, but outside of Carl Urban and Hiroyuki Sanada, who plays Scorpion, I mean, a lot of these actors don't really have the acting chops of those two gentlemen there. So I don't really hold their feet to the fire as much as, you know, a lot of people would. Again, I do think the writing has a lot more to do with the poor performances.
100%. And with that said, my brother, what are some of your final thoughts as well as your final grade?
Well, if you are a fan of Mortal Kombat, this film is made for the fans. Again, you're not going to get any kind of intricate, well thought out plot. You're also not going to get any kind of serious character deep dives, but you're not here for that. You're here for the fun. You're here for the fatalities. You're here for the fights. You're here for the action. And in that aspect, I think the film delivers. I think this is a film that's best experienced probably in an IMAX with a group of friends. And I think as long as you don't take this film seriously, you're going to have fun with it because this film doesn't take itself seriously. And I think that's a good thing. My final grade for this film is going to be, I say 4.5 nut shots out of 5, brought to you in part by Uncaged Fury.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the 4.5 nut shots out of 5 for the true hardcore MK fans, for the people that are huge fans of the Mortal Kombat video game. But for the uninitiated, I gotta give this a 2.5 to 3 just because of all of the flaws that me and my brother listed out for this film. But this is still a fun watch, even if you don't know what is going on.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I do think this movie hits its goal in, you know, becoming a B-tier action film that a lot of casuals can get a lot of enjoyment out of.
And with that said, I think that just about wraps up this review of the new Mortal Kombat 2 film. My brother, do you have anything else to add?
You know what? I do have one more thing to add. Finish him.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok.
Anybody enjoying the visual portion of this podcast, like always, you can catch the main cast on YouTube. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and iHeartRadio, you already know. Tune in for our next installment, whatever it may or may not be. A ton of films coming out this summer. This page will be very active. So keep those comments coming. Keep them subscriptions coming. Keep them likes coming. And please, if you are dropping comments in the comment section, please do your best to keep them spoiler free. Until then, join us next time on our next voyage. Love you guys. Holla at you guys. We out.